What's up, Boxing Land? What's up, Boxing Freaks? Today is December 17th, and this video is titled Juan Manuel Marquez Sues Freddy Roach. Um, you know, if you've been following, the comments made about Marquez in training camp by Freddy Roach, you'll know that, or you'll remember that Freddy said that he believed that Marquez was on performance enhancement drugs, and that if his test came back negative, that he'd kiss his ass. Well, it wasn't too long after that Freddie realized he put his foot in his mouth, and he tried to recant his statement, but it was too late. It was already put out. And as we all know and witnessed, Marquez knocked Manny down, I believe, in the third round, and then he knocked him out cold in the sixth. And speculation grew that Marquez was on performance enhancement drugs. Interestingly enough, last week the test results came back from the Nevada State Athletic Commission showing that Manny and Marquez tested negative for any performance enhancement drugs. So Marquez said that he'll be waiting for Freddy Roach to kiss his ass, and that he possibly will sue Freddy Roach for those statements. And the irony in all of this is several years ago, when the fight wanted to be negotiated between Floyd and Pacquiao, how ESPN, HBO, and everybody else involved criticized Mayweather for asking for random drug testing. They said things like he wasn't the commission, and who was he to make up these rules, and the testing were fine, etc., etc., etc. Mayweather got criticized for that. Yet, we turn it around now, and you're criticizing Marquez for not taking random drug testing when Manny hasn't agreed to that. Manny had the opportunity to prove that he was clean, to leave zero doubt, and he refused that, and now they're trying to act like Manny's the victim, where Marquez may have cheated, when Marquez was subject to the same testing that Manny has. So if you want to question Marquez for possibly being on performance enhancement drugs, then you, without a doubt, have to question Manny. It wasn't like Marquez jumped up 2 or 3 weight divisions to face Manny. It wasn't like his fight night weight has changed. And it wasn't like he did it overnight either. He fought a guy that's basically his same size, who he had fought 3 previous times, who he had fought last year, and was able to withstand his power and was able to outbox him. He's a guy he knew better than anybody else in boxing. So am I surprised that he knocked him out? Absolutely not. He knocked him out with a clean shot right on the button as Manny was coming in recklessly. So, and the other thing too is that Marquez had plenty of time to adjust, to that weight, as where when he fought Floyd, he didn't have the right time. But he was subject to random drug testing, just as Floyd was for that fight. So, I hope Manny sues Freddy Roach the same way that Manny tried to sue Floyd, or I guess he did sue him for defamation of character. It's funny how, the wheel turned. I just came back full circle on Manny, and in the end, this all made Floyd look like the hero. And also, I want to criticize HBO. They're so disgusting. Like, most of you guys know, HBO is owned by Time Warner Cable, which happens to be the largest pay-per-view distributor in North America, which also happens to make HBO boxing super profitable for parent company Time Warner because of the pay-per-view revenue. Time Warner being that they keep, more than 50% of the revenue generated from pay-per-view. And immediately when Pacquiao was knocked out, they tried selling a 5th fight. I didn't want to watch a 4th fight. It turned out good, but Marquez cemented that. He knocked him out cold. He dropped him in the 3rd. No more. We don't want to see any more. It's pointless. But HBO wants to see it because they want to make parent company Time Warner millions of more dollars from pay-per-view. So it's disgusting. Right away they try to sell a 5th fight. We don't even know if Manny's going to be the same fighter. We can't say no and we can't say yes until we see him fight in the ring again. Freddy Roach, I believe he believes Manny's at the end of his career, and this only clarified that, this knockout loss for him. But, time will tell. But, anyway, if you saw this weekend's fight between Nonito Donaire and Arce in the beginning of the telecast, you'd have seen that HBO insinuated that Marquez may be on performance enhancement drugs. And then, ironically, they praised Nonito Donaire, who's been, testing 365 24/7. But they failed to mention that Nonito Donaire is being consulted and being tested by an organization that I believe that has input from Victor Conti, who was involved in the Balco steroid incident in baseball and who even served jail time. And it's not that I want to bash Victor Conti, but that Nonito Donaire being with Victor Conti and Victor Conti, um, you know, uh, being a consultant for VADA, it's not something that you should brag about. And then again, it's like they're trying to make Nonito be like the clean hero, the guy who's implemented this testing, when, there was a gentleman by the name of Floyd Mayweather who instituted this several years ago, and you guys all criticized him for it. So, one, it's the hypocrisy of HBO. Is HBO always trying to create a storyline out of drama so they can sell more? And I think that Marquez should sue HBO also for them insinuating that he's a dirty fighter. So, I hope that he does follow through with it. I hope people issue him an apology. And I don't want to see a fifth fight. I don't think a lot of people want to see a fifth fight. Those Facebook polls that HBO put, it's probably taken by several thousand people, but they're probably all Pacquiao fans that just want to try to see Manny, come back and settle the score. We don't want to see a fifth fight. It's ridiculous. What we'd like to see, not digressing, but we'd like to see Nonito Donaire finally step it up and possibly face Abner Mares, but unfortunately the devil in boxing named Bob Arum isn't going to allow that to happen because Abner Mares happens to be a Golden Boy promotion fighter. So, again, I don't want to see a Pacquiao-Marquez fifth fight, and I hope that Marquez follows through and sues Freddy Roach, for defamation of character, and I hope he does the same to HBO. This bias and this ridiculousness has to end. And if you look at that fight, they made it seem like Manny was winning by such a huge margin, when in fact the fight was a 6th round and they had traded knockdowns. It was still a close fight, but if you listen to HBO, you could have sworn that Manny had already won the fight. I mean, it was just possibly Marquez could have won the following 6 rounds straight in a row, and he wouldn't have won a decision, and HBO would have tried to convince you otherwise. The bias that goes on with Jim Lampley, and thank God Larry Merchant's out of the picture now. But I think the next person that needs to go in HBO is Jim Lampley. And now for you Filipino fans or overzealous Manny Pacquiao fans who hate me for the things that I've been saying, we will agree that the statement that Jim Lampley made after the fight, comparing the Pacquiao knockout loss to the tragedy that happened with the storms in the Philippines, that was totally uncalled for, and it was totally disgusting. And an apology needs to be issued, just like an apology. And I hope that Keith Kaiser, the head of the Nevada State Athletic Commission, suspends Michael Kahns and Bullboy for assaulting a photographer that was taking pictures of Manny. So I hope something gets done. Unfortunately, because it's about Manny Pacquiao, there's a different standard, and a lot of things with him get swept under the rug. But I hope Jim Lampley gets backlash for the BS that he said. And then again, I hope the members of Team Pacquiao that were responsible for the assault on this photographer, I hope they get punished as well. I'd like to see them banned for at least a year in boxing, and I'd like them to get fined maybe $50,000 to $150,000 to teach them a lesson. Now that was totally uncalled for. I couldn't imagine if team members of Floyd Mayweather would have done something like that. It would have been all over the media. And also to ESPN, also, Marquez, I think you should sue them as well for insinuating that maybe you were a dirty fighter. So that's my take, guys. Leave me a comment. Follow me on Twitter at YDKSAB, and follow me on Facebook at Boxing Freaks. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.